Welcome, kayak anglers, to our video podcast. This episode is sponsored by our friends at Payne Outdoors, no nonsense, straight talk, outdoor analyst, and custom plastics. Guggen Brothers Custom Tackle, custom made jigs and Ned rigs. Feel free kayaks, pedal, paddle, or power, there's something for everyone. And Yak Gadget, proudly supplying you with American-made kayak fishing accessories and gear. Now, let's join our host, John Rapp.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my episode number 10. 10 episodes. Hard to believe that I've made it that far and that long. Looks like at this point, after the first 9 episodes, we've had over 36 guests, averaging about 4 people a show, and I've got a really sweet lineup tonight. We are adding our 8th state, adding the state of Ohio to our list of people that have visited the show. Before, we've had Texas has had 2 folks, Wisconsin 2, Illinois 2, Tennessee and Georgia 1, and West Virginia's got 7, Florida's got 5, or West Virginia may have 9. But we've had quite a few people show up here, and I want to reach out to all you guys and thank you for taking a few of your moments in the evening to hang out with us. So yeah, I got a really sweet lineup tonight, and let's take a look at who we got on the show today. Everybody knows our good friend Chris Payne from Texas, from Payne Outdoors. We're bringing back our West Virginia Kayak Anglers Tournament Director, Tournament Organizer, Greg Kupfner. He's got some good info from Jackson County. And Johnny Graves. Oh boy, you guys are in for a treat. Johnny is one of our top podcasters in the nation. If you go look him up, Google Johnny Graves Kayak Fishing. He's always in all the top 10 lists. Listen to his show. I've even been the topic of that show before, and I think he even marked that one X-rated. So you might want to watch what you do there on that on some of the Johnny shows. Dude has an awesome TikTok. I'm not a TikToker, but you watch his Facebook feeds, and he throws some stuff up there. But that's Johnny Graves. He's coming on here in a second. But got Chris Payne again from Texas. Chris has been a weekly contributor from day one. The first episode he helped me with knowledge, and then from episode 2 to today he's been a guest on the show every night, whether he's been at home in his garage, in his truck, or in Illinois going to a college visit. He has been here. So Chris, thank you. And then my boy Greg Kupfner, I can't say enough about him. Haven't got to spend much time with him this year like I have in the past. I consider him a good friend. He's taken over the West Virginia Kayak Anglers this year, and he has done one hell of a good job. And I know it's a taxing job, but he has picked it up and lifted it and made it even better. So let's go bring on our first guest, and that was going to be Greg. Let me get everything squared away here, and all right, Greg, you're live, baby. How are you doing this evening?
Doing good, man. Just glad to not be working.
I can hear you. From what I understand, you've been working your rear end off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Are you getting any time to recreational fish?
Some. I did some fishing with charity tournament this weekend, so it was nice to get out. It rained on a little bit early Saturday morning, but it was a good day.
Oh,
raised
good.
some money for the cause. So,
how much money did y'all raise?
I would say we raised right around $1,000 for the Children's Home Society this weekend. So
that's outstanding, Greg. Great job, man. I mean, that is totally outstanding. So I know we got a tournament this weekend, and I'm sure that the few viewers we have out here right now are interested in your pre-tournament captain's meeting before you do your captain's meeting. What's on your thoughts and minds here for this Jackson County event?
This Jackson County event should be a good one. Really, it's some of the if you're looking for big bass, Jackson County is probably the best in the state. I mean, overall, look at some of the fish that have been caught out of there. If I look at the onlines, all those onlines if you're winning or in the top 5, I would say 90% of those fish are coming from those Jackson County lakes, whether it be O'Brien, whether it be Elk Fork, those, even Woodrum. There's been some big bass come out of there as well. So, I mean, I think those lakes are really a hot spot for big bass right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, from what I remember the past few years, it seemed like all of our onlines were being won from those lakes.
I know they're monthly tournaments, but we're seeing 107 inches, 108 inches. That takes the win. That's huge in West Virginia.
That's ludicrous. I mean, that's crazy for West Virginia.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I know we had a couple of members in the last few weeks have some really good days on those lakes as well. So I think Southern West Virginia's tournament was down there, and I think big bass was 23 inches.
Oh my!
And then there were several fish over 20 inches that were caught. Usually you catch one over 20 inches, you're in the big bass pot. But
exactly,
that'll be the case this weekend. So. And it's an open, so if you guys are, bring your friends. If you're just getting into tournament fishing and you want to give one a shot, this is a good one to give a shot. Reach out to WVKA. We're always there to answer any questions you guys may have. But if you know anybody that's interested in getting in a tournament, good chance to just throw in. You can not only fish individually, you can fish as a team. If you don't have a teammate or you haven't fished in the season with WVKA and you want to fish as a team, jump in with a teammate. It's $20 per team. It's $10 per person. So I mean, it's a good way. We like the teammates. It's just another way to get people out on the water. Father, son, friends, husband, wife, whatever it may be.
Totally agree. And open events have always been my favorite because that's where you get to showcase your people, your organization, what you do, your sponsors, and it's a great way to grow the sport. So I think that's a great thing.
For sure. And then we're going to be at the Jackson County Fairgrounds is going to be check-in this year. We've got free camping there starting Thursday night, so anybody that wants to come down and do a little pre-fishing. Free camping. Big shout out to Jonathan Abshire for getting that set up for us. And the Jackson County Commission there, they really helped us out. We're going to, not only do they give us the free camping, but we have air-conditioned check-in too, so it won't be supposed to be pretty hot, so we can get in the cool, not have to stand around in the heat all day. So that'll help. Outstanding.
Where are we going to go to dinner afterwards?
I'm probably going to the yacht club.
That's what I'm talking. Good deal.
Yeah, but you can register clear up till 8:00 or 8:00 on Friday night.
And that's on TourneyX, right? TourneyX.com.
It is on TourneyX, yes.
Okay.
And we'll have, if you want to fish as a team, all you have to do is message WVKA, and then I'll shoot you a PayPal link, and you can pay via PayPal for the teams. I didn't put the teams up on TourneyX because it can sometimes be a mess.
Totally understand that. Got a message.
You can clear up till 8:00, and we will have a captain's meeting live there. I won't do one live on Facebook. The one I'm going to do live is just for if you have questions, show up early and ask them. You don't have to be there, but just make sure you ask questions. I'll release the identifier and pertinent information at 8:00 on Friday night.
Beautiful. Sounds good. Anything else you want to put out, man? Teams?
Rumor has it in that teams we may have a couple of big sticks from the national scene team up. So I haven't 100% confirmed that yet, but if they can make it, you're going to be fishing against some of the best in the country.
Without a doubt, if it's the two guys that you mentioned, I mean, it makes me want to get with old Jack Gillespie and say, hey, let's throw in that cash. Let's see if we can compete with them two fellas, because that would be awesome. We're not going to drop names. Can we drop names?
We can drop some names. Like I said, they're not 100% confirmed, but looks like Matt Ball and Jody Clean may be joining us this weekend.
Oh,
and I'm sure those guys don't need much of an introduction.
No, I don't think so. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a short break, and then we're going to bring on my boy Johnny Graves from Cincinnati, Ohio. This segment is sponsored by Yak Gadget. Coogan Brothers Custom Tackle. Payne Outdoors. Unfiltered Kayaks. So hey, I'm back, and I want to bring on my good friend John Graves. I like to call him my good friend because I've spent several weekends with this guy this year down in Tennessee on a couple occasions, and had a lot of fun with John. I've listened to his show. He is one of the top 10 podcasters in the nation. Jay Graves Kayak Fishing. You can find him on just about any podcast platform out there. But let's bring him on. Johnny Graves, what's up, Big Daddy?
Mr. Rapp, how are you, sir? Good seeing everyone. I'm blessed to be here. I feel good. Day is great here in southwestern Ohio. It's muggy, just like we like it.
Yes, no rain, hopefully.
Well, we did get some rain earlier, and it cooled things off a little bit, but we just got muddy waters here. But, I am interested in the tournament you guys were just talking about. Real quick, it's the WVKA tournament in Jackson, right?
Jackson County, which is not probably 2.5 hours from you.
Oh, that's the question I wanted to hear. And then, so is the team thing on Sunday?
No, it's the same day. It's the same day. The way they run things is basically you're fishing 2 tournaments in one.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
And they'll count whatever fish you have. Let's say you and I are on a team.
Right.
Then your individual score and my individual score adds up to be the team score.
Right.
And then...
Right. To the Dale Hollow tournament, wasn't it? That we...
Yeah. Right.
I'd run down there on Sunday if the team thing was on Sunday, but I got to work Saturday. So anyway, good. That sounds like a lot of fun, man.
Well, yeah, it is. And it's too bad we can't have you show up, man, because I know you would.
And you just think that West Virginia is like on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. You know what I mean? Sometimes we get locked in our heads. A different state. Ooh, when you find out that there's great fishing just 2.5 hours from here, you just got to drive in the other direction.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I get stuck in those bubbles sometimes, and but I need to start venturing out a lot more. I have never fished in the state of West Virginia.
Well, if you're going to make that trip, then there's 2 places you need to go. O'Brien Lake, definitely. It is the land of the big fish, big largemouth, and then we got to get you down either on the Greenbrier or the New River.
Yeah,
one of those 2 rivers. So.
No, I went to the river in an 8-man raft. It's a lot different section, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Hobie would not handle that.
Yeah, kayak. The kayaks. I've watched your videos and I've seen you go in the water, going around a curve, just turning your Hobie, or that Hobie craft that you were testing out, just in a paddling real fast, doing a quick turn. I can only imagine what you would do in a class 2 or 3 rapid.
Kill myself.
Yeah. We'd have to put a helmet on you, Johnny. A helmet.
I'm my worst nightmare, John Rapp.
Hey, man, so what, I know you were talking about, you do a lot of product testing and stuff like that, and you said you wanted to talk about a couple of things you just recently got?
There's a couple products that I'm super excited about, and they were products that I did not even expect. So after ICAST 2021 going down there, I met up with the wonderful people from Spike It. Okay, and if you're familiar with Spike It, it's a lure dye company. And this is about the only thing that you see right there in the on the shelves of a Walmart that's located near me. I thought that was the only thing they made. Well, I turned the corner down there at ICAST, and it doesn't look like a fishing lure company. It looks like an art supplier.
Yeah.
But look, electric blade dips, lure paints, braided line markers, Luma pearls, stuff, aerosols that you spray on, and this is non-ozone kind of thing, all that kind of ozone safe stuff. But you spray it on there, and it adds just a little bit different something to your soft plastics. I was overwhelmed with what they had, but the one thing that they sent to me amongst all of that stuff to try out was that Fix-A-Lure. Okay, man. How many times do we go through stuff like this? because the end of it's bit up, or that hook's wore itself through that body of it, and we render it useless. Man, you can take this lure, which is typically for the soft plastics, just made just right. It doesn't stick in your fingers either, which is great. Okay, it doesn't stick to your skin, but in just a few minutes, it'll mend this thing up. Or if you put a bunch of them in a bag, take it home while you're watching MacGyver, and you just do it up, right? Just fix them up, and by the next day, they're ready to rock and roll. It's like nothing even beat them up.
That's what I was going to ask you. Can you use that when you're on the water? To say you've went through your whole bag of Cincos, you're having a heck of a day, and you got one left, and it's beat to hell. I mean, can you dab that on there and still be able to salvage it?
Well, you can, but you're going to have to wait probably 30 minutes, so you're going to have to go to another lure in the meantime.
I got you.
Go back to one, because it does take a little time to heal up on that. But man, I'm telling you, I am most impressed with that stuff. I love it. Fix-A-Lure by Spike It. You can check that out, isspikeit.com, isspikeit.com. I have no idea what the IS stands for. But, and the other thing, one more thing that I'm really excited about, American Tackle, well, my big kayak rollover stuff, that hit me like a ton of bricks in so many ways. Emotionally, your pride, your loss of equipment, you're in front of people when you do it.
Yeah, just so you guys don't know that Johnny was doing a live video when he was doing this. He had just came out of a tree, a bush, where he got his lure hooked up, and then he was coming out of there, and he was on a boat that he was testing, and he had that thing as a Hobie, and he had that thing just to get it, and he looked like he was trying to make a turn, and he just was going so fast, he just rolled himself right out of the boat.
I get chills thinking about it right now. Because it's it's one of those things that's never going to happen. It's not going to happen to me. It won't happen to me. I've thought that myself. I've been doing this for a number of years. Still kind of think it in a way. Oh, it's not going to happen. I'm going to be okay. Well, I had an inflatable vest on, which failed to go off the moment I hit the water. And I was in about 11 foot of water, and I had a Hodgman rain suit on with all of the pockets open.
Yeah.
So when I bottom and kicked myself back up, those pockets filled up with water, and that inflatable did not go off. So then you get sort of an adrenaline phase turn into a panic phase, and that panic phase just controls all your thoughts and all your emotions and if you ain't got that under control, and I found myself in that position, very vulnerable. I could feel my tackle coming down on me. And surprisingly enough, the camera actually stayed.
Yeah.
Live. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Long story short, American Tackle and others. I'd like to give a big shout out to Dwayne DeRoba too, Venom Lures, who immediately within a few days sent me a couple of his handmade rod. I'm so grateful for that. And American Tackle has just sent to me some amazing product. They've got my kayak back in order, and I really want to thank them big time for doing that for me. I really, really appreciate that big time. But what I'm excited about is the carbon reels that they sell.
Oh, yeah.
These staff, limited production. American Tackle not only makes like the microwave guides and rod blanks and all the things you need as a rod maker. They don't make not only just the Bushido line of crankbaits and stuff, but they will help you in the fishing industry. Say you're in distribution or marketing, they also handle all of those aspects, and that's all around the world. Say you want to start, pimping out your rod and reels or something over in Asia, they will help with those connections. Because as you know, sitting here with you guys, really, the fishing world's not so much about putting fish in the weigh bag as it is who you puke in the parking lot with, or who you meet, your relationship that you have made in this industry and what you do with it from there on out. You can be a champ. I am probably one of the worst anglers out there. My record shows, it will show you. But I feel very successful. I'm blessed with the things that come to me and I'm able to do. And I think it's all about your relationship building, and where you go with it, and how you spread your love and passion of the sport. American Tackle is just the pillar of all of that. So check out all their products, www.American Tackle Angler Products, or if you're a rod builder, you already know about American Tackle. I couldn't be more happier with the 2 carbon. Here it is right here. Oh my God, this thing is so lightweight. Beautiful carbon constructions, carbon handle on this thing. The box was heavier. The box and the packing was heavier than the actual reel. And then we have it on the Toxic Rod series from American Tackle. But you can check out all that. I can't wait to get this out. Just came in. I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't been out already tonight or tomorrow or earlier today with all that stuff.
I was out at the pond here at the Rock and Star Ranch, checking out some of it, kind of dialing in. After you get I'll tell you what, every rod and reel's different, man, and I'm so used to giving it a real hard whip to get the lure out there. I did that the first time with this super light, super reactive thing. It's backlashing on you. Something you never want to do on TikTok Live before you get that down.
It might go viral. You never know.
Well, you do some stupid things, it goes viral, like flipping your kayak.
Oh, I haven't looked to see what your count is on that. Is it getting into the thousands yet?
And all the platforms together, it's probably tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I was so shocked. And the first time, being a 58-year-old dude, I grew up with my buddy. We had the piece of yarn through the 2 pecans.
Yep.
That's how. I can't hear you, man. I want to shout louder. That's where we come from.
Yep.
And really, it was fascinating to me have a little 9-year-old kid come up to me in ICAST that I'd never met before and go, "Hey, man, saw you flip your kayak. I hope everything's okay." And you're just blown away that connection has been made. And I find I just overwhelms me.
Awesome, brother. You're going to stick around for the end of the show for our fireside chat, right?
Absolutely. I'm here for the
awesome,
remainder.
Man. Well, hang tight for a second, and we're going to bring on Chris Payne from Payne Outdoors.
Rock and roll.
This segment is sponsored by Yak Gadget. Coogan Brothers Custom Tackle. Payne Outdoors. Feel Free Kayaks. All right, I'm back, and I'm getting ready to bring on my good friend Chris Payne. Chris, this will be his 9th episode with me out of 10. He's been excellent in the episodes that we've talked about. He's talked about pro staff. He's talked about professional anglers. He has showed us live how he's made his own plastic brand, the Payne Outdoors brand of plastics. He's talked about sunglasses, other gear. He has been a wealth of information, and we're lucky that he is joining us. So without ado, Chris Payne. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. So it looks like you're back in the garage today. What you been playing with?
Well, actually, so I just dropped a TikTok and Facebook Live and that kind of stuff yesterday. I actually had a group called Legacy Outfitters, which is kind of a group of guys who have a men's ministry, basically, around the outdoors, hunting and fishing and that kind of stuff. I went and spoke at a couple of their events, and one of the guys asked me, "Hey, so I know that like you put like some garlic scent in your oil and stuff like that. I was wondering if you would be willing to try something a little crazy." I'm like, "Sure, I'm down. What you got?" And he said, "I want you to make me some Cincos." I said, "Okay, got that." He's like, but instead of using salt or oil or anything, I want you to use our Cajun seasoning.
Oh man.
And see what happens.
Wow.
So let me tell you, I'm going to be using this some more, and we're actually going to sell that product. You can check out the video on Paint Outdoors. There's a shortened version of it. So the live is like 25 minutes or something, but I made a 3-minute version for TikTok and Instagram Reels and that kind of stuff. So you can catch the gist of it. But let me tell you, big surprises, and I will be selling it.
Awesome.
So that was fun. It's also funny that Johnny mentioned Spike It, because I have Fix-A-Lure, I have aerosol, and so all of my glitters and my pigments and dyes are made by Lure Works, which is owned by, I don't know if y'all can read that, Spike It Outdoors.
Spike It.
So it's like, this episode sponsored by Spike.
Yeah, it seems like that happens. That happens every week. We come up with something. First few weeks was rogue fishing, and So I'm a big believer in the Spike It products and their Lure Works products, and all of my baits are made with Lure Works stuff, which is from Spike It. So Jerry Spradling wants to know, what is your TikTok name?
Paint Outdoors.
Paint Outdoors. Okay.
You got it.
And Randy Newton he's wanting to know, he is still waiting on that chili. I think that's what it says. There must be a story behind that one.
tell him to message me.
Hey Randy, message Chris Payne.
Yeah, tell him to message me. So I wanted to mention that. I've got one other thing, and then I want to get into a more serious topic that's kind of put me in a pissed off mood, quite frankly, all day. But I do want to call out. So for my guys that use Strike King crankbaits, which I'm a heavy user of Strike King crankbaits. I have been for a long time. They have made a change to the paint on the Sexy Shad. So this is last year's model. Hopefully you can see that. And this is this year's model. It's so hard to see.
Yeah, you can barely see the stripe. Yeah.
Yeah. You can kind of see it.
There it is. Yeah.
So they have built in a scale pattern all the way down this thing now, and it has a white gill plate on it. So it's not just the gray with the scales on the top. Like, it has scales all the way through it, and it has glitter all the way through it. So they've modified that. So if you're looking for the old stuff, you better go grab it now, because that is a color change that, if any of you guys are superstitious, you better check that out. Strike King Sexy Shad has changed. Okay, so let's talk about what kind of pissed me off.
I was going to tell you before you get into that, I got my camera in yesterday from last week's episode. I'm charging that thing up now, but boy, that thing is well made. Small, compact, had a lot of the accessories that came with it. So I was reading about it. You are at 9 hours of video on that thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've tested it. Like, I've run it the full 9 hours. That's a lot of footage to go through. You're gonna need a big.
Yeah, I didn't know
card,
they've got it set up where you can also use it for like you're in your car, for like I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Dash cam. Yeah, you can run it as a dash cam too.
Well, anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. So, so I'm wearing a different hat today. I'm wearing my NRS hat. So there was a video that came out from Chad Hoover talking about how his relationship with NRS has ended. There are actually quite a few of us that have been affected by that over the last year. NRS is changing directions with how they're doing stuff. So they've done this kind of 5-year experiment with a kayak fishing team and gotten awareness and all of that kind of stuff, and have sponsored a lot of us. I've been a beneficiary of that. I've worked with NRS for a long time. And I saw a lot of absolute hate when people did a little more research into what they were going into. how they're kind of shifting gears a lot. Hey, just an absolute lot of hate where people were saying they were no longer going to wear NRS. They were no longer going to use the gear. They were no longer going to do that, because some of what they're doing is they have a new, what they call the lead ambassador program. And so the lead is trying to reach, it's using ambassadors that are doing charities and nonprofits in typically what we would consider non-endemic fishing communities. And so one of those is an LGBTQ community. One of those is like inner city youth. One of those is, you know, there's a lot of different things that they're doing, and they're trying to reach these communities that really don't have exposure, access, and the ability to get the equipment that NRS offers. And so using these ambassadors who are already doing this, like they didn't recruit these ambassadors to do this. These are people who are out there doing this and felt it was important. And then NRS contacted them with, how can we help? And so I don't speak for the company. I don't have an agreement with them anymore. I will tell you that 99.9% of my safety gear and that kind of stuff is NRS.
Same here.
And I don't mind wearing this hat, and I will never take off that gear because I believe it's the best in the business. And that's just how I feel. That's my personal opinion about it. What I am just, my blood pressure is up about is about how, because a company has decided to serve some of these non-endemic groups to fishing and hunting, right? Fishing and hunting for a long time, hook and bullet world, has been the yeehaw straight male machismo thing. And the fact that they're reaching out to people who didn't grow up with that to use the outdoors as a resource makes me proud of what they're doing. And if that loses me people who are interested in hearing what I have to say and buy my baits, I'm fine with that. Everybody can feel how they want. But the absolute hate and brand bashing that's going on because somebody is trying to do something different that may not represent you as a person, like nobody's telling you that you have to become a gay man or that you have to become, you know, a minority in an inner city or anything like that. I don't get the hate. I think that a lot of the hate is because now an opportunity for you to be a brand ambassador for them might not exist. So what?
Yeah.
Like, my God, like, get over yourself. And if it were one or two guys, I'd be like, okay, these guys are just completely off their rocker. But the enormous amount of hate that has come out of the kayak community bashing this company, because and mainly because of the one group that deals with LGBTQ and trying to get those people involved. Like, your circle must be small if you don't know anybody that falls into those margins. You live in a vacuum, I guess. Like, I have people in my life that I love dearly, that a man loves another man. And you know what? That doesn't affect me in the least. I want him to be happy and healthy and do what he needs to do. And I'm okay with that. And before anybody comes at me with the Christian, you know, God-fearing, gay is wrong and all of this business, here's what I need you to understand. If you read your New Testament, a sin is a sin. And so if you're not telling any lies and you're not committing adultery and you're not coveting what anybody else has, which I already know you are if you're dealing with this pro staff business as fiercely as you are, you know, if you don't have any sin, throw the first stone. That's fine. And I don't want to go all, you know, Bible thumping on anybody, but you can't stand on that as your reason that you're against it and then act like you do.
Well, you know,
you can't.
You're supposed to. No, you're right. And in a Christian way, you love everybody and you walk in the eyes of God. We don't judge. That's His place to judge. Our job as Christians is to just walk a path and set an example, you know. And we all fail, so we're all. I mean, we were born to fail, and that's why he did what he did for us. But yeah, man. I'm not familiar with that. What's going on? I haven't seen anything out there. Apparently, your circles, you're seeing a lot more than what I'm seeing.
I think it's getting taken down as fast as it's getting put up.
Okay.
So luckily we have some good moderators out there.
Good.
But the sheer number of it is just it's disheartening. And some of them are people that I, would think of as friends, but when you get to know the true heart of somebody, you're just like, okay, like we can be acquaintances, but we're not going to have a beer over a campfire. Like that's just not going to work for me, because I can't have, like, I don't want to surround myself with people like that. People who are just like, you're different than I am, and so you're bad. Right? I mean, it's xenophobia. It's just, confirmation bias of all the things that they feel, which just tells me they're not secure in their own life with what they're dealing with, that they're just losing their brain over this. And I don't want this to be too much of a soapbox, but I do want to tell people, like, I feel like I've been around enough that when something like this comes up, if I just let it go, that I'm saying that it's okay, right?
Yeah, I think that's happening a lot in the world right now. Brian,
is confirmation. I can't do that.
Exactly. Chris Payne for president. Preach on, brother, from Brian Schiller. Jerry Spradling just wrote out, glad I tuned in for this one. You just got another follower for sure. If people can't agree to disagree, it is disheartening. And I can agree with Jerry on that, because Jerry and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I consider him a brother, and I would do anything for him. But yeah, politics is a nasty thing. It needs to stay out of sports, and it needs to stay out of fishing. All we need to do is, we see those memes out there all the time. Just shut up and fish. Just shut up and fish. Get out, fish, and enjoy what God has created for us. Mother Nature, big bass, time with friends, campfires, and let all that other stuff just flow with the water and go under the bridge. Right. Hey, I think this is a good time to bring on our other boys. What do you think?
Yep. Be a good
all right.
time.
Going to bring on the panel here. Hey, guys, Johnny and Greg.
Hey.
We'll bring you guys on the grid. See Payne on the. So, people just tuning in, Chris has brought up some information here about politics in fishing, and it needs to stop. But we got two other men on here, Greg Kupfner from West Virginia Kayak Anglers, top right, and John Graves, kayak fishing, the pod father, top 10 man from Cincinnati, Ohio. Look him up. Anyway, guys, what do y'all think about what Chris just said? Go ahead, Greg.
I mean, NRS is a business. If they're not trying to expand their reach, they're not trying to grow. You
Amen.
can't blame them.
No.
I mean, I'm a marketing guy, so I get it. You can't just. They've done a great job supporting the kayak community in general.
I mean, they supported us for 4 years. They were a sponsor at WVKA. I mean,
and then you got to think, if I'm trying to expand my business, I've got to bring new people into that, whether it be inner city, whatever it may be. And if I can bring them in there, maybe they come back to the fishing community, and they're a fishing community for life. They're a customer for life. So I don't understand the batching either, Chris. I've seen some of that stuff. That just kind of blows my mind. And it's not the first time that I've seen some of that stuff. Just because you disagree doesn't mean we need to argue about it on Facebook and that seems to be where I see a lot of it. Just why are we arguing about stuff that really doesn't even matter?
Amen. Johnny?
Well, I can certainly feel Chris's angst about that. I mean, you can feel his emotion in that. And it's not 1979 anymore. I mean, and here we are, four guys that are getting together, simulating how we would get together back in 1979, and Chris would come walking into the door, and you could feel those emotions, and you could work and play off of those. And I'm probably in four of us hanging out, or I'm gonna have thoughts that register through my mind, but I'll probably be more apt to just kind of hold my thoughts and listen to what Chris had to say. But in a keyboard society, when you can hide behind a keyboard in the cloak of darkness in your pajamas. You have no worries. These impulses that we have in social media get played out so quickly on the keyboard, and we have no time to even register, I shouldn't have probably said that. Or it's so easy for me to say that because I would go without retribution. I will probably never see Chris Payne ever. But I will say this, that in doing that, if you want any success at all in the fishing industry, in any business, in sport, whatever, if you are that person that has nothing good to say on social media, you can be constructive and still say something negative, but at least you're being constructive and trying to work through something. But when you go and you just say some really jackass stuff, very poignant without thinking about it, and you post that up, that will haunt you for the rest of your fishing career. I promise it will. And people pay attention to that, especially now in 2021, when by the time of the evening's over, there's going to be 20,000 people probably view this thing or watch it or have that potential. It's a lot more now than just four guys hanging out.
Right.
So I would advise anybody on their social media, especially if you want to do good with it, keep the politics off of it. Keep the religion off of it. Don't dive too much into other people's loves and passions. Share your own with the world and go with that. And I'm telling you, coming from a schlep angler like myself, who has only out of over 100 tournaments I've participated in, and only, I'm serious, I've only caught a 5-fish limit twice.
Hey, I was at one of those.
You were in one of them. That's right. On fire. What is the best day of my life? But I feel success. I feel successful in what I'm doing. My connection that I have with the fishing industry world, the direction I'm going in. I have found my niche, and I 75% of that is because I have kept away from politics involving in negative chit chat over social media, which, without having Chris explain it emotionally and hearing that in his voice, you can't read that emotion in a text.
No, exactly.
To that, and because your name's attached to that for a long, long time, so you own it when you text it. So I own my thoughts, but they're my thoughts. I go to grave with thoughts, but you start texting stuff like that, it's got a name on there.
So we got a comment from Daniel Dockery down in Florida. He says, no better feeling than showing and helping someone learn how to catch a fish and seeing them and their reaction help one another. So, yeah, I mean, it
Absolutely.
Doesn't talk. Yeah, that's goes for everybody. It's not, there's no color blindness, there's no sexual orientation thing there. It's just fishing and the sport. So, Chris, follow up.
So, yeah, I knowingly took a risk tonight. I just often I will keep my mouth shut on this stuff. As Johnny was describing, I weigh everything that I say. I take my time with the things that I say, and I've said some controversial stuff, but none of it is off the cuff. It's all weighed and calculated. And am I willing to step out and say this, knowing that I could be done tomorrow? Like, no more visitors to the website, no more orders for baits, no more companies wanting to work with me. Am I willing to do that? And today, I was like, yeah, like I've thought about it all day, and if it costs me everything, I'm okay with that, because here's the reality for 99.99% of us. I don't pay my mortgage off of fishing. I don't. And so because of that allows me the opportunity to take a risk and kill off 9.5 years of work that I've been working on this whole thing. I'll kill it off if I feel like it's that important. I want our sport to be better. And sometimes you just have to say, guys, we got to be better. Like this whole bashing a company, like Greg said, they're trying to reach new markets. They probably saw stagnation in the fishing market. Like, how many people don't know about NRS that are in kayaks?
Exactly. Everybody does.
Yeah, I mean,
that crew at NRS, and specifically David, who went to Mark and said, hey, let me take a chance on this. I think kayak fishing is our next market. Because they were just whitewater. If you go on a whitewater rafting trip, you're probably going to see NRS rafts and booties and life jackets and all that kind of stuff. He's like, I think we've got something here. We've got this Chinook life jacket, and I think we can expand this market, and we can look at all this stuff. And they did exactly that. But you're going to plateau. And so then it's time to look at new markets.
Right? And Greg would probably agree, but if they've plateaued with kayak fishing, then that's okay, because now that they're going to try to open up a new market and bring in more business somewhere else. I'm not going to leave NRS. I still wear their bibs, their boots. I got their vest. It's the pop-up vest that Johnny was wearing. I hope mine will go off if I do hit the water, where his didn't. I can see he decided to go with a regular vest now. Yeah. So
whatever. I want to use the best stuff. A company doesn't have politics. A company chooses to take different avenues, but a company is a thing void. It doesn't have sex. It doesn't have religion. A company is a business to bring money so that the business can stay in business.
Yes.
If you can't get that, deal with it.
Hey,
Whatever.
that you might want to come back and save that 10-second splurb for your TikTok, because that was pretty key wordage right there, bro.
I might do that. You'll have to send me a download of it.
Damn it! I forgot to record again. Oh well, it's the third week. It's the third week in a row. I keep forgetting to record it, so I have it on my hard drive. But it's up on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, so we're good. Right. Guys, any final thoughts? This is going to be a sort of a short show, but Greg, you want to run over anything that we forgot about for the tournament this weekend?
Well, unless you guys have any questions, like I said, we're individual team, and it's open to everybody. So if you have any questions, just message us. Use our Facebook. That's the best way to get us.
Sweet.
Hey, can I fish that remotely from Texas?
Hell no. Hey, speaking of which, I want to go ahead and place an order for some of your lizards.
Bring it.
Yeah. I will be on your website soon. Johnny, any final thoughts, buddy?
I just listening to how Chris is passionate about this. Chris, I'll tell you one thing. You gained one customer tonight. I have a feeling that you might fear that you might lose a few people, some customers. I think you gained a shitload more.
Yeah, I do too. Sometimes yeah.
Can I get the lizards with the chili pepper thing in it? That sounds intense.
Oh, ooh.
Message me.
Ooh, oh yeah, two.
And I think that's important for all of us to just preach from our heart. If you're going to do any preaching, just talk from your heart. Show us your passion, what this world's all about. That's how we all have met. That's how it's going to continue and be fun. And, that's the joy. We're not breaking the bank with what we're doing here, but we got to have fun, damn it.
Well, it's all about respect. And I respect you more for telling me how you feel and being honest than being one of those guys in the background talking shit. Say, it's a bunch of shit. I don't like that. It's all about respect, and so I think you've gained a following and fans. I know obviously I have a lot of respect for you, but yeah. Anyway, good show, guys. Johnny, I really appreciate you coming on, big guy. I hope you decide to come back. I hope you sit down and watch this and see how we done and give me some feedback.
Absolutely. I thank you so much for the invite, and I can't wait to get 2.5 hours from here to go fishing in West Virginia.
Hey, I'll tell you, if you can hit Greg up close to home, if not, come see me, man. I'm only 4 hours from you.
He's up in Marietta. I'm gonna look you up.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
Right. Good.
All right, guys. So we just wrapped up our 10th episode. Had some great conversation, some heartfelt conversation. I hope everybody goes back and watches it that missed it. Looks like we got a comment from Bill Tallman. Bill said, "This world is a turmoil. People need to step back, keeping politics, religion, but to me, camaraderie is loving your brother, opinions to yourself." I think I said that right, but thank you, Bill. And Jerry, Big Fish Spradling, also said, "If you want to hit a West Virginia, holla out." So I think that was hollering at you, Big John. He's up that way, Parkersburg too. If we could
Never work. So
yeah, he don't. Yeah.
Well, I'm at work, so yeah, he's usually free.
Yeah, like Greg said there, Jerry doesn't work, and if he does work, he works about an hour a day. So
Right.
Anyway, guys, thanks for again for showing up for the show, and we're going to hit the credits and log off. Whatever, Jerry. You're not working no shift right now. You have a good night. Thanks, Brian.
Big John. Big Bad John.
5 seconds, Big Daddy, and we are clear.